Yeah, I wish I had like some super exciting story of like all these deep connections in the dental space, but honestly, just kind of happenstance. So I started my career in the financial industry 10 years ago. I started at Fidelity Investments, very generalist, very large asset management firm, one of the biggest in the world. I started there just entry level, right? What we'd call pre-licensed. So when you work at
Mm,
these brokerage firms, you have to actually transact securities or trade or do anything like that, you have to be licensed. So I went there literally as a customer service, lowest of the low you could possibly think of. So I started there, got my licenses, started working up and getting exposure to the financial industry investment world. Worked there for about 5 years. During that time, my wife got into PA school out in Southern California. We were just talking about this before we hopped on about our connections
yeah.
to Southern California. So we ended up moving out to Orange County. I was very fortunate with Fidelity having a national presence. I moved out to an office there in Orange County. And that's really where my career or my job turned into a career, I'd say, where I
Mm,
started to really be like, okay, I could do this for a career. I really loved what I was doing, meeting with people face to face, helping them with their financial planning, investment planning. When my wife graduated, it kind of coincided with some personal family stuff that was going to bring me back to Utah. So my wife graduated. I ended up resigning from my position there and we moved back to Utah. And my plan at the time was I'm going to resign. It was all amicable. It was all worked out. I was going to take a few months off to be with my family. And then the plan was to go back to Fidelity. And in the interim, coming back to Utah, I kept coming across this name and this company. And the name was Reese Harper. The company was Dennis Advisors. It came up a couple of different times over the course of maybe 2 or 3 months. One of the which was a recruiter who reached out to me, and so the name kept coming up, and I thought, man, like this, I got to check this out, right? I'll be honest, Gary, when I first heard that Reese tell me, or when I heard from the recruiter that Dentist Advisors only does financial planning for dentists, I was like, my first thought was, why, just dentists? Like, that's kind of weird. That was my first thought.